Ladies and gentlemen, if this message has reached you before October 12th, congratulations. Because it means you still have time. Time to rise. Time to rebuild. Time to believe again. You see, there are moments in life when God whispers, not through thunder, not through fire, but through timing. If this message found you today, it's not an accident. It's a divine appointment. Divine timing matters because it reminds us that everything in life unfolds according to a higher plan, not our personal schedule. Many times we become impatient, feeling like our prayers are delayed or our efforts are unnoticed. We ask ourselves, why is it taking so long? But in reality, what seems like a delay is often divine preparation. God's timing is never late, never early. It's always exact, precise, and purposeful. When a door doesn't open immediately, it doesn't mean rejection. It means there is something still being prepared behind the scenes. The right opportunity, the right connection, and the right environment are aligning for your breakthrough. Every moment that passes without visible progress is not wasted. It's a moment in which character is built, faith is refined, and patience is strengthened. Divine timing teaches us that success without preparation can destroy us. A blessing received too soon can become a burden, but when it arrives in divine timing, it becomes a testimony. Just as a seed doesn't sprout the moment it is planted, your dreams and prayers also need time to grow roots before they rise to the surface. The soil of your soul must be ready to hold the weight of what you are praying for. When we trust divine timing, we stop comparing our journey to others. We begin to understand that every person's timeline is unique. What may happen for someone in a year might take another person 5 years, not because one is more favored, but because their purposes are different. Divine timing eliminates jealousy and replaces it with peace. It helps us rest in the assurance that what is meant for us will never pass us by. The waiting season, instead of being frustrating, becomes a sacred space where God molds us into the person who can sustain the blessing He has prepared. There are times when everything seems silent, when heaven feels distant and prayers seem unanswered. But silence is not absence. It's often in the silence that divine timing is at work. You may not see movement, but heaven is working behind the scenes, setting things in motion. Just because the answer hasn't arrived yet doesn't mean it isn't coming. What's meant for you is already written, already approved, and already on its way. Divine timing ensures that when it finally arrives, it will fit perfectly. No force, no struggle, no confusion. When we align our hearts with faith and patience, we open ourselves to the flow of divine timing. We stop rushing, we stop worrying, and we start trusting. The moment we surrender control, peace fills our hearts and miracles begin to unfold naturally. Divine timing teaches us to wait with expectation, not frustration. It reminds us that God's calendar is flawless and every season serves a purpose. What feels delayed is often divine protection, and what feels late is actually right on time, according to heaven's perfect schedule. Every breakthrough requires a battle, because progress and purpose are never born in comfort. Before anything great emerges in your life, there will always be resistance. The challenges you face are not random obstacles. They are the very tools that shape your strength, deepen your faith, and prepare you to handle the blessings that lie ahead. Every dream, every promise, every answered prayer must go through a process of testing Without a battle, there can be no victory, and without struggle, there can be no growth. The truth is that breakthrough is never handed freely. It's earned through persistence, faith, and the willingness to keep moving when everything around you says, stop. The battles of life are not designed to destroy you, but to define you. When you face hardship, rejection, or delay, it's easy to question why things are so difficult. But the greater your purpose, the stronger your opposition. Every great calling attracts great challenges. The storm is not a sign that you're off course. It's proof that you're headed towards something meaningful. The enemy doesn't fight what doesn't threaten him. If you are facing resistance, it's a sign that your breakthrough is near. You are on the edge of something powerful, and the battle is the final test before the blessing. In every story of transformation, there's a moment of pain before triumph. The caterpillar must struggle to break free from its cocoon before it can fly. The seed must push through dark soil before it reaches the light. Likewise, you must go through seasons of pressure and uncertainty before you step into the fullness of your potential. These moments train your spirit to trust, your mind to focus, and your heart to stay strong even when the outcome is unclear. A breakthrough is not only about the result, it's about who you become in the process of fighting for it. When you face spiritual, emotional, or personal battles, remember that victory doesn't come from strength alone. It comes from faith. The power to endure and overcome comes from believing that something greater is working on your behalf. Every time you choose faith over fear, you weaken the enemy's grip. Every time you keep going despite feeling tired, you take one more step toward your breakthrough. The process might be painful, but pain often precedes power. Every battle refines you and removes what cannot go with you into your next season. The battle before the breakthrough is the moment when doubt and destiny collide. It's when your faith is stretched to its limit and you feel like giving up, but something within you says, hold on. That inner voice is the seed of your victory. Each tear you've cried, each prayer you've whispered, and each obstacle you've overcome has been preparing you for the moment when everything changes. You may be weary, but you are not defeated. The battle you're fighting is proof that something new is about to be born. And once you emerge from it, you will see that every struggle was worth the strength it produced within you. Pain has purpose because it is one of the most powerful teachers in life, shaping us in ways comfort never could. Every wound, disappointment, and heartbreak carries within it a message meant to build us, not break us. When we go through suffering, our natural reaction is to ask why it is happening, to search for reasons, and to hope it ends quickly. But in the unseen realm, pain is often the very tool that molds our character, strengthens our faith, and prepares us for what is coming next. Without pain, we would never truly understand the value of peace. Without loss, we would never appreciate abundance. It is through hardship that we discover who we really are and what we are capable of enduring. When life hurts, it often means growth is taking place beneath the surface. Just as a seed must be buried in darkness before it can sprout, we too must go through seasons where everything feels heavy and unclear before new life can emerge. Pain digs deep into the soul, exposing weaknesses and fears we didn't know existed, but it also clears away what no longer serves us. It burns away pride selfishness and complacency, leaving behind humility, compassion, and strength. In this way, pain purifies us. It humbles us enough to depend not on our own strength, but on the strength that comes from above. Every challenge we face carries purpose, even when we cannot see it. Sometimes pain delays us only to protect us. What seems like rejection may actually be redirection. The relationship that ended, the door that closed, the job that slipped away, all of it may be the very thing that saved us from something worse. Pain often removes what we thought we needed so that we can receive what we were truly meant for. It is not a punishment, but a preparation. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of uncertainty adds depth to our spirit. We begin to see life differently, to value small blessings more deeply, and to love more sincerely. The most beautiful souls are often those who have walked through great pain. They speak with gentleness because they know what it feels like to be broken. They give freely because they understand the emptiness of loss. They forgive easily because they have needed forgiveness themselves. Pain matures us in ways success never could. It teaches us to slow down, to listen, and to be grateful even in the midst of trials. When we stop resisting pain and begin to learn from it, transformation happens. We find strength we never knew we had and faith we didn't know existed. Pain refines, reveals, and repositions us. It shifts our focus from temporary struggles to eternal lessons. Though we may not always understand it in the moment, pain is never wasted. It is a divine tool that shapes us into who we are destined to become, turning wounds into wisdom and suffering into strength. Faith activates miracles because it is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the spiritual and the physical, the promise and the manifestation. Miracles do not happen by chance. They are born through belief that refuses to surrender even when the circumstances seem impossible. Faith is not merely hope. It is the confident expectation that what God has spoken will come to pass. It does not rely on logic or visible evidence. It relies on trust in a higher power that never fails. When a person walks in faith, they open the door for divine power to move in their life. Faith invites the supernatural into the natural, turning what seems unreachable into reality. Every miracle in history began with an act of faith. It was faith that made the blind see, the lame walk, and the storms calm. It was faith that caused the walls of Jericho to fall and the Red Sea to part. In each of these moments, there was first a person who believed before they saw. That is the essence of faith. It acts, prays, and speaks as if the answer is already done. When you believe in the midst of adversity, heaven begins to respond. God honors faith because it demonstrates complete trust in His word. And when faith is genuine, it moves the heart of the divine to release what is already promised. Faith is not just believing that God can do something, it is believing that His will. It's standing firm when everything else says give up. It's declaring victory when defeat seems certain. It's looking at a mountain and saying, move. Not because of your strength, but because of your confidence in the one who can move it. Every time faith is exercised, it sends a signal to the spiritual realm that you are ready to receive. Miracles do not respond to doubt. They respond to belief. A single moment of pure faith can accomplish more than years of fear and hesitation. When a person operates in faith, their words carry power. What they speak aligns with divine will, and their actions reflect trust even before results appear. Faith changes the atmosphere around you. It shifts energy, it attracts favor, and it activates movement in places that once seemed stagnant. Faith reminds you that you are not alone in the battle, that unseen forces are working on your behalf even when you cannot perceive them. Every act of faith, no matter how small, sends ripples through eternity, aligning your life with miracles waiting to unfold. Faith is the key that unlocks heaven's door. It doesn't remove challenges, but transforms how you face them. It makes you see possibilities where others see limitations. It brings light into dark places and peace into chaos. When you choose to believe, even without proof, miracles begin to chase you. Faith is the language of heaven, and every time you speak it, you release divine power that brings the impossible within reach. Decisions create destiny because every choice we make shapes the direction of our life and determines the kind of future we step into. Life is not built by chance, it is built by decisions, both great and small. Every thought, every word, every action carries a consequence that moves us closer to our purpose or further from it. The truth is that destiny is not something that simply happens to us. It is something we create through intentional choices. When a person decides to walk in faith, to forgive, to persevere, and to believe in the unseen, they begin to align their life with divine purpose. Each decision acts as a seed, and what we plant today will be the harvest we reap tomorrow. Many people wait for circumstances to change before they take action. But transformation begins the moment a decision is made. A single decision to let go of fear can open the door to courage. A decision to trust can unlock blessings that were waiting on the other side of doubt. Every great destiny starts with one defining moment when a person chooses to rise above comfort, excuses, or fear and step into what they are called to do. The direction of our life is not determined by luck or fate. It is determined by the choices we make in moments of pressure and uncertainty. Every day, we stand at crossroads between faith and fear, forgiveness and bitterness, growth and complacency. The decisions we make in these moments determine whether we move forward or remain stuck. Choosing to forgive releases peace. Choosing to believe invites miracles. Choosing to persist when tired produces breakthrough. God has already given us the power of free will, and that power is one of the most sacred gifts. It means that no matter what has happened in the past, we have the ability to change the course of our life by making new decisions today. The moment we decide to walk in obedience and trust, destiny begins to unfold in ways we never imagined. Every decision we make reveals what we truly value. If we decide based on fear, we will live small. If we decide based on faith, we will live in possibility. Destiny is not the result of one grand moment, but a series of consistent, purposeful choices that move us in the right direction. Even small decisions like choosing gratitude over complaint or discipline over laziness create ripple effects that shape who we become. Every wise choice builds strength of character, and character determines the capacity to carry destiny. When we realize that decisions create destiny, we start to treat each choice as sacred. We become intentional about the thoughts we entertain, the words we speak, and the actions we take. Destiny does not belong to the strongest or the most talented, but to those who consistently choose faith over doubt and purpose over comfort. Every decision made in alignment with truth and courage becomes a stepping stone toward the life we were created to live. You are right on time because your life is unfolding exactly as it should, even if it doesn't look like it. Every season, every delay, and every detour has a purpose in shaping who you are meant to become. There is a divine rhythm to life, a perfect order in which events happen, not according to your plan, but according to divine timing. Often, we compare our journey to others and feel behind when we see people achieving what we desire. We start to question our worth, our timing, and even our prayers. But what we fail to see is that every person's journey is uniquely designed, and just because your story is taking longer does not mean it is off track. You are exactly where you need to be for what God is preparing in you and through you. Being right on time does not always mean you are where you expected to be. It means you are where you are meant to be. The pauses, the rejections, and even the heartbreaks are part of a bigger plan that your eyes cannot yet see. Sometimes the reason you have been delayed is that something greater needs to be aligned before you arrive. Just as a seed planted in the ground must wait for the right season to bloom, your life must also go through seasons of waiting, growing, and strengthening before the harvest comes. If the seed sprouted too soon, it would not survive the storm in the same way. If your blessings came before you were ready, they could overwhelm you instead of elevate you. When you understand that you are right on time, peace replaces panic. You no longer feel the need to rush or force things to happen. You begin to trust that every step, even the ones that feel like setbacks, are moving you closer to your destiny. God never wastes time. He uses it to mature you, to test your patience, and to prepare your heart for what's coming. What feels like waiting is often divine protection. Sometimes God holds you back, not because you are unworthy, but because He loves you too much to let you step into something that is not yet ready for you. The truth is, time belongs to God, and He makes everything beautiful in its time. You are not late, and you have not missed your moment. Every experience, good or bad, is guiding you toward the purpose written for you long before you were born. The job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, the door that closed, all of it was part of being right on time for something better. When you embrace this truth, you stop comparing, you stop complaining, and you start trusting. The moment you accept where you are with gratitude, you step into alignment with divine flow. Your journey is not behind schedule. It is perfectly timed. And what is meant for you will find you when both you and the blessing are ready to meet.